The gun wasn't mine. It's not who I am. I don't condone any type of violence, but I take full responsibility for my actions. Made a bad mistake, and I can see the image that I painted over myself with my recent mistakes. But in the future, I'm gonna show everybody who John really is, what I'm about, and change this narrative that everybody got painted over me.
Since the NBA began, we have seen a lot of crazy things, and we have seen a lot of players make some questionable choices that have negatively impacted their career. From the Malice in the Palace incident to Gilbert Arenas bringing a handgun into the team's locker room. Sometimes we see players go down a dark path that everyone but the player sees. What's up, and welcome to From Then to Now. I'm your host, and today I'm going to be talking about Ja Morant and how he may have cemented the way people will view him forever. When Ja Morant entered the league in 2019, people were enamored with how Ja played the game. He was a high-flying dunker that could also shoot the ball and defend the hoop at a high clip. He would play so well coming into the league that he would earn himself the Rookie of the Year award, and since then has already appeared in the playoffs and earned himself a spot as an All-Star, as well as raise his points per game average from 17 points as a rookie all the way to 27 points as of this season. He definitely deserves praise where praise is due, especially considering that many sports critics have already deemed him the soon-to-be face of the league, but as of late, Ja has landed himself in a lot of hot water, and it may be too late for him to turn it around. Of course, what I'm referring to is the plethora of recent controversy that he has already been involved with recently, and in case you've been living under a rock, I will spare the details. Recently, it has come to light that in September 2022, Morant was named a defendant in a lawsuit filed in Shelby County, Tennessee. In the suit, the plaintiff accused Ja of punching a 17-year-old male during a pickup basketball game at Morant's home in July of that year. Morant and the 17-year-old had reportedly engaged in a verbal altercation during the game, and the 17-year-old quote-unquote accidentally hit Morant. Ja then punched the 17-year-old and knocked him to the ground, after which he struck him an additional number of times. After the altercation, Morant allegedly went inside his house and came out with a gun tucked in his waistband. The 17-year-old mother later took the boy to the hospital and filed a police report. There's also another police report that also alleged that Morant had threatened a head of security at a mall located in Memphis, which happened 4 days before the altercation with the 17-year-old male. In the report, it claimed that Morant's mother got into a verbal altercation with an employee, and she subsequently called Morant for backup. Morant then entered the mall with an entourage of at least 9 people and was confronted by the head of security. Ja refused to leave the mall's parking lot, and authorities later arrived at the mall. As the group was leaving the premises, Morant allegedly stated, "Let me find out what time he gets off." A member of Morant's entourage allegedly pushed the head of security, who intended to file a report on the incident because he felt threatened by Morant's words. On February 5th, 2023, acquaintances of Morant aggressively confronted members of the Pacers party near their team bus, and later on, a person in an SUV which Morant was riding in supposedly pointed a red laser at the bus. 2 members of the Pacers party that spoke to The Athletic believed that the laser was attached to a gun. A Pacers security guard near the bus loading area remarked that that's 100% a gun, and another person present stated that they felt like they were in grave danger. NBA later investigated the incident, where they interviewed multiple people and reviewed the surveillance footage. Spokesman Mike Bass stated that while the league substantiated that a post-game situation arose and that was confrontational, they could not corroborate that any individual threatened others with a weapon. Now, although they couldn't prove that any weapons were involved with that incident with the Pacers, or that Morant or his crew had a weapon at all, it wouldn't even be a month later where Ja Morant would post a very incriminating image on Instagram Live. On March 4th, 2023, Morant appeared on an Instagram Live at 3:19 a.m. in a Colorado strip club following a loss to the Denver Nuggets earlier that night. Morant could be seen holding a handgun while rapping along with the music at the club. Morant deactivated his Twitter and Instagram accounts later that day and released an apology statement while stepping away from the team to quote-unquote learn better methods of dealing with stress and his overall well-being. But since September, Ja has been on a very slippery slope with his actions, and I think personally, if he doesn't drop the crowd that he hangs around and stop with the gangbanger persona, that he is going to end up as a story of how he had everything and lost it all. I really do hope that he understands how serious the circumstances are for him, especially since he is a really talented player and has the potential to really impact the league. But that's all I got for now. Let me know down in the comments how you feel about this situation, and hit the like if you agree with what I had to say. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.